Hey, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to build a workflow that fully automates the process of posting social media content. We have an influencer management agency paying us $1,250 every single month for this automation bundled with a few other automations. In this case, this workflow is going to automate the process of posting to LinkedIn, but it can be changed to any platform like Instagram or Twitter. And this automation is also going to create images. It's going to update all your data in whatever database you use. And it's also going to send a approval request to a Telegram bot. You can decide if you wanted to post the content or not. You can make edits, change the wording, change the hashtags, or you can deny the request and all the info will get updated into the correct database. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and test this workflow just to show you how the whole thing works. I have it scheduled for 3 times a week right now, but this can also be changed to a manual trigger if you want. We send the data to a RSS feed which pulls information from a specific blog. You can change this to whatever you want, or you can also add multiple blogs to get information from a bunch. We're going to parse the data with code, send it to a few AI nodes with specialized prompts, which I'll show you in a bit. And then we generate the image. We're using DALL-E to generate the images right now. After that, all the data will get sent to another AI node with another prompt in here. Then the information will get updated into our database. We're using something called NocoDB, but you can use Airtable or any other CRM. I'm just using this for this example. Alright, now we can see it's waiting for us to approve the post or not. So if we go over to our Telegram bot, we can see right here, here's the whole thing. We have the image, so we can click on the link right here. And it looks decent, but as you can see, like, these images are created with AI, so they're not going to be the best. So you can take this step out if you want, or what you actually can do is you can edit it to add your own images, which I'll show you in a second. So the image would be in the post, and then here's the whole post right here. It looks pretty good with some emojis. It has hashtags, and then it has the original blog post that I pulled the information from right here, which is nice. And then this is how we actually edit the post. So let's say we don't like some of this, or like I said, you want to add your own photo in. We'd go to the database. In this case, we're using NocoDB, like I said, but you can use Airtable or anything else. So I'll go ahead and click on our LinkedIn, and we can see it right here. So if we want to edit it, we can go ahead and edit it in here. Say we don't like the image, we can tell it to create a new image, or what we can do is we can take this out and put our own image in here if you would like to. So you either tap yes or no, or go or no, if you wanted to approve it. So let's say we want to approve it. We'll click right here. It sends a webhook over to our automation. So as you can see, it got approved. And now that it's approved, it'll be updated in our database as well. And then if we go over to LinkedIn, we should see this post once it's done. Let's see. Yep, here we go right here. And see, this actually looks really good. The beauty influencer landscape is evolving. Are you keeping pace? And it has all this. It has hashtags, a pretty nice image as well. So yeah, I definitely think this is very cool. So let's get into how to actually build it now. Alright, so we'll start it off with a scheduled trigger node. We're going to set it for weeks. And then however many times you want, we'll do 3 times a week. Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. That should be good. And then we can set the time to, we'll do 9 a.m. at 9:30. So let's do 9:30 3 times a week. Alright, next we're going to add a RSS read. This is going to give us the ability to pull information from blogs. So in this case, I'm doing influencer marketing, but let's say you want it for your own company and you wanted to research AI automation. So you're going to need to find blogs in that niche. You're just going to need to do a little research. But in this case, we're going to be pulling from this website right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy the link right here. And then we can go ahead and add rss.xml. And then let's go ahead and test this step just to make sure it works. And as you can see, we have the information right here. So it looks like it's working. That's great. Alright, next I'm going to add a code node, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not the best at coding. I really mostly just use AI for most of my code. It works most of the time, but you know, sometimes I got to do a little bit of troubleshooting. If you want, you can just copy the code I'm putting in here. This is going to help us filter the data and pull the information from the website. Alright, so if we go ahead and test this step of the code, we should get an output. And what this code is doing is it's randomly picking one of the articles in the blog. Obviously, this code can be changed to your needs, but this is how I have it right here. So we see the output. Now we just have one. So what we can actually do is add a HTTP request. We'll set it to get, and then we want this link right here. So we'll go JSON, we'll go link, and we'll pull this right here from the code. So there we go. An expression, that's great. And we don't need to fill out any of this other stuff. Just make sure it's on get. So what the HTTP request is going to do is actually pull the specific website from the blog. So this pulls the whole entire blog. This picks one of the links, and then this is actually going to scrape the data from the one link. So we'll add another code node. And again, you can just copy the code that I'm putting in here if you want. It's all right here. This is going to, filter through the data. And you can see everything on the right, exactly what it's doing. So remove scripts, remove styles, remove meta tags. It's really just filtering the data and putting it in the correct format. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just test these steps right now just to make sure they're working. Yep, looks like it's all good right here. Cool. So we're going to add an AI agent now. So we can click OpenAI, message a model. We're just going to use GPT-4o mini for this. It's definitely powerful enough and it's cheaper. So we'll go ahead and use that. And keep the role on user. Okay, so what this AI node is doing is it's actually summarizing the article that we just pulled. So we have a whole entire prompt in here, which I can show you. But obviously you're going to want to change it to your specific use case. And I can scroll through here a bit, or let me start at the top. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, obviously, but there it is right there. And then I can change it to expression because we are pulling some of the data from previous nodes. So right here, clean text, we're putting this here. So generate LinkedIn post that is professional yet readable, optimized for engagement based on the following article. And then we put the clean text from the previous code node in. And then we have the rest right here. We give it rules, we give it a tone to use, and we tell it to, how to structure it. And example output, that's good to have, as well as we tell it to add a few emojis and hashtags as well. Alright, so we can go ahead and test out, make sure it works, and it looks like it's all good. We have all the information right here. So after the article summary is done, we can add another AI agent node. We're going to message a model again. And what this one is going to do is create a prompt for the image. So we can go in here. We're going to use GPT. We're going to use Turbo this time. And once again, keep this on user. And I do have a whole prompt already ready for this. I can't go through the whole thing because it's a lot of stuff again. But if you want to just pause it and slowly read through it and then get an idea of how you can write your own. So we have the whole thing right here. And once again, we are using expression. So we're going to pull from the previous article summary node and put the content in here. Alright, so right here you can see it says create a conceptual image prompt for a LinkedIn article cover based on this summary. And we pulled in the content from the article summary node that was right before this. So it's going to use that data to create the summary. And then I can just show you the whole thing right here. We have the style, key elements, mood, what to avoid. We give it examples, and we give it the output format and example output. So great. Let's go ahead and test this step 2 and see if it works. Okay, so after we have the image prompt created, we're actually going to want to create the image. So we'll go to OpenAI and go to generate image. We're going to use DALL-E 3 for this. And for the prompt, we're going to use the content from the previous node, which is just the image prompt. And this is going to give us the prompt to create the image. What we have to make sure to do, though, is respond with the URL. So add an option and make sure you check this right here because we need the URL for the next steps. So we'll test this step and make sure it works correctly. Alright, it's done executing and perfect. We have the URL right here, which is exactly what we need. So we're going to go ahead and add one more AI node. This next node, what we're going to do with it is actually create the LinkedIn post and get it ready for approval. But we're going to do a little bit different this time. Instead of messaging a model, we're going to click message an assistant. We're going to put it down here to make some more room, and I'll explain how this works. So what this does is it actually links over here to platform.openai.com. I can link this down below. And what we can do is write whole custom prompts in here, which our workflow in n8n will link to and use this information. All right, so we have a very, very detailed prompt in here because, we want these posts to look very professional and look like they're written by real people. So we put lots of examples in here. We gave it very, very thorough steps. You can read through this if you want, but, just change it around, customize it to how, you want it, depending on what you want to do with your post. But we give it more tips down here, lots of examples, exactly how to make the post. We're using GPT-4o, and if we go into the node right here, we can click from the list and actually choose, or this is the wrong account, but we can actually choose the one, so it will be LinkedIn post generator right here, and then we'll click define below, and then we can go article. So this is just building the LinkedIn post. What we're going to do here is drag the URL from the previous node. This is the image, so if we put it right there, that should be good. So next we'll add the summary. So we'll have the image, and then this will be like the actual written post and all the hashtags. So we'll go to article summary and then click content right here, and that should be good like that. After the post is created, we don't want it to just randomly post without our approval. We have to make sure it looks good first, and if we want to make any edits, then we should add that option as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to add your CRM of choice. In this case, I'm using NoCodeDB, but you can use anything like Airtable or Google Sheets. Just make sure to enter the right fields. So we'll click create a row, and we'll go to this account right here, press create. Go to the right workspace ID, the base, the table, and then we can add all our fields. I already have all the fields created in my database over here, so we'll add all the fields in right now. Now that we have all the fields set, we can start putting the values in. So for the URL, we're going to go to the first code node that we made and put the link in right there. That's the blog link that we're pulling from. For the article summary, we can go to the article summary node and just pull over the content and put it in right there. For the platform, we're actually just going to keep it fixed, and we're going to type in LinkedIn because on my database over here, as you can see, I put it like a drop-down menu. So let's say I'm using different social media platforms. We can choose which one we want. So we have LinkedIn right here, so we'll put that there. For the post value, we're going to go to the most recent one we just made, which is creating the LinkedIn post, and we're just going to put the output in right here. For the image, once again, just go to the one where we made the image and put the URL in there, and in the image prompt, just go to the image prompts node and put the content in here. Alright, so next we're going to set up the Telegram bot so we can review the whole post, make any edits or changes if needed before it actually posts. So if you've never set up a Telegram bot, it's really easy, and I'll walk you through the whole thing right now. So we'll go to Telegram, send a text message, and I'll set up a whole new credential just to show you how to do this. So you're going to need an access token right here. So how you're going to do this is go to BotFather on Telegram, which I will have linked in the description. You'll probably be on this page when you get on. It'll say start, click new bot. You're going to have to name the bot, so let's just go LinkedIn bot. And then you have to choose a username too, and it has to end with bot, so LinkedIn 7676 _ bot. Nice, so now we have the token right here. We can just copy this, bring it back to our workflow, and put it right here. We'll just rename this to LinkedIn test save, and it should work. So as we can see, it was successful. Now you're going to need a chat ID. So I'll link this below too. I think this is the easiest way to get a chat ID. There's actually a Telegram channel for it. So I'll link this below. You're just going to want to start the bot, and then you'll get the ID right here automatically. Copy this, bring it back to your workflow, and we should be all good now. All right, now that we set up the bot and we put the chat ID, everything should be working now. So we're going to go ahead and get the message ready, which is going to be sent in Telegram. So I'm going to add image, LinkedIn post, original URL, and then edit the post. Right here, I just put the link to our database that I showed you earlier that has all the information. So you can change this depending on what you're using. For the image, we'll just do the same thing. Go to the node where we created the image, dragged it over here, go to the LinkedIn post, so the previous node, clicked output, and then original URL. Just go back to the first code node we created and get the link right here. One last thing we're going to do in this node is click approval on the response type, add an option, and click the option to approve or disapprove. Now we can go ahead and test this, and we should see that the whole entire post will be in our Telegram bot. Right here, we can see the image. Great. And we can see the whole entire post, all the hashtags, the original URL, and we can edit the post. Now we can approve it or decline it. But we got to finish the workflow first, so let's do that. So if we actually test a Telegram bot and then go over and click approve, we should get an output on n8n. So right here, we got an output. It says approved equals true. Now what we can do with this is update our database depending on if we clicked approved or denied on a Telegram bot. How we're going to do this is by adding an if node. So if we go here and then change it to a Boolean, and then we'll click is true, we can go right here and change this to an expression. And then if we go approve, drag this over from the Telegram, test this, and it worked. So if we clicked approved, then we'll send the data over here. So we're going to add our database again and update accordingly. We're going to click update a row this time. Since the row is already created, we just need to update the certain field. As you can see here in my database, I already have a field for the status, and it gets changed depending if I clicked approved or denied. So we'll go ahead and go to my correct database and bases. So we'll add a field. Since I haven't named status in my database, we'll put the same thing here, and then we'll just click approved. We'll add one more field for the ID as well. We'll change this to an expression, and then if I go over here to the previous node, the NoCo, we can find the ID down here and go ahead and drag it in here. And if I go ahead and test this, we should see update to approved in our database. Refresh the page, and it's approved. Nice. So we're going to do the same thing if we click deny now. So we'll just go ahead and duplicate this, go right here, and all I'm going to have to do here is change this to declined. And this works because I have these named approved and declined, so it should update. And if I test this again, I'm going to click decline this time just to make sure everything's working. Declines. Now we'll test this step, test this one, and we're gonna refresh this page now, and it says declined. Great. All right, so we're almost done now. We're done with the declined side. If it's declined, this is where the workflow ends. The information gets updated here saying it's declined, but if it's approved, it needs to actually post onto LinkedIn. But before that, we add one more step, which is going to be another OpenAI node. So we'll go to OpenAI and generate the image. The reason why we're doing this again is on this step, it had to be a link for us to be able to view it over here and put it into our database and make changes. But now it needs to be binary. So instead of adding the option below, we'll keep it just how it is. So if we go to the image generation prompt, there will be something called the revised prompt. So we'll go ahead and put that there, test this step, and it should be all good. Alright, it looks like the image was successfully created in a binary type instead of a URL, so this will allow us to actually upload it to LinkedIn now. So for the final step, we'll add a LinkedIn node to create a post. Just add your credentials. You can also change this to organization, but I'm just doing person right now. And what we'll do is make sure I have this on the right account. And then for the text, we're going to want to go to the node where we created the LinkedIn post and just put the output right here. And since this does contain an image, we're going to want to change this to image, leave everything else how it is. And if we test this, it should work. And that's the whole workflow. Now we can go over to our LinkedIn and we should see the post just now. There it is. And if we go ahead and click on it, you can see the whole thing here. We have the whole entire typed out message, the hashtags, and the image, and it looks awesome, to be honest. You can read through this if you want, but this is personalized to influencer marketing because that's what I was doing in this example, but you can change it to however you want. So yeah, if you like this workflow or you want me to make some more videos, then subscribe, like. I'm not selling anything. I'm just giving out free information. I really hope this helped at least one person. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace.